Aloha. Oh, thank you for that enthusiasm and all the rest of it. Look, these guys can't wait to get rid of you. Yeah, over there. Roll call. Roll call. I've been told to make sure this mic goes down after yesterday. Please sit down. Aloha, as I said. HRS 26-2, Order of Succession for the Office of Governor and Lieutenant Governor. Shan Tsutsui served as the 12th Senate President of Hawaii. He's the first Senate President from Maui, as well as the youngest. Elected to the Senate in 2002 to represent Hawaii's 4th Senatorial District. His previous leadership positions included Vice Chair of Ways and Means and Majority Caucus Leader. Obviously, Shan has demonstrated well before his elevation to being Senate President that he had leadership qualities and a capacity that his fellow legislators recognized and rewarded. He graduated from Maui High School in 1989. He earned his bachelor's degree in economics, thank you very much, at the University of Hawaii in 1994. He and his wife, Lindell, have 3 daughters, Michaela, Kaylee, and Kenna, who are with him today in various stages of recognition as to what's going on at the moment. So I'm very pleased to announce that former State Senate President Shan Tsutsui has accepted the position of Lieutenant Governor of Hawaii, effective immediately under the orders of succession.
Thank you, Governor.
I have another announcement after. No, I'm going to be quiet.
So, Governor, hopefully those weren't the only nice words you're going to say about me over the next couple of years. But, unfortunately, this thing happened so quickly, and I don't have any prepared remarks, but I would like to, first and foremost, take this opportunity to thank the governor. Over the last 24 hours, we've had numerous conversations, about the roles and responsibilities that he would entrust in me. We'll talk about those, I think, at a later date. But I certainly look forward, and I'm excited about this opportunity and the challenge that lies ahead. I would also like to take this opportunity to really thank my family, my wife, my 3 daughters who have been my foundation, and they've been, supportive from the very beginning. And of course, we've made this decision together as a family. It is a challenge, as the governor noted. We do live on Maui. The goal is to not relocate my family, and so there will be some challenges with that, but I'm sure that we'll be able to kind of overcome those. Next, I'd like to really thank my colleagues. While it's an exciting day today for me, it's a bittersweet in some sense because, I really feel like I'm leaving a group of very close friends. I mean, they're colleagues, obviously, but they're really good friends. And and the lobbying effort continues. But, and I'm hoping that, with the opportunity that I have at the Lieutenant Governor's office to kind of serve and help and assist and be a bridge, the governor has done a great job over the last several years communicating with the legislature, and I'm hoping to just add some value to that. So, again, I look forward to this opportunity, Governor. I thank you. And to my colleagues, again, thank you so much for, all of the advice, support, and everything, and well wishes over the last several years. And, I'm not going that much further. I just I guess one floor higher. But I certainly look forward to working with all of you this legislative session.
There is another element to this that the Lieutenant Governor mentioned. By the way, he is a Lieutenant Governor. All the papers have been signed, and there'll be a more formal ceremony later, but he is, in fact, the Lieutenant Governor in more than just name at the moment. But when I began my campaign for governor on Maui, I wanted to do that symbolically to register the idea that I did not want to have, should I be elected governor, to have what I called an Oahu-centric administration. Now, by law, obviously, by constitutional law, the capital is located in Honolulu. But there is nothing in the law to prevent, and in fact, everything to encourage the idea that we have additional offices, official offices, wherever we can. And so when I spoke to the lieutenant governor as a successor to Senator Schatz, I said, why not, we're going to establish then the lieutenant governor's office on Maui. And so there will be an office there. We're in the process right now of putting that together. That goes for anybody else who's elected then. Yes, there's an official governor's home here next to Washington Place, again, because the seat of government here. But I want to make very, very clear that I want to make sure everybody understands that our state is multi-island. And so Lieutenant Governor Tsutsui will be working out of Maui and Oahu officially. And I'm very pleased about that. And I am also very, very pleased to have been able to say to his 3 daughters today, who are just absorbing now what's taking place, that their dad could have, of course, declined the position of lieutenant governor. But with their encouragement and with his wife's encouragement, I said to them that their dad was doing this for their sake, just as Senator Schatz's family. I said to them last night, I went to the airport to make sure I saw them off, in particular Linda and the kids. And I said to them that their dad was doing this for them. There is a transition taking place. The lieutenant governor is 40. The new senator sworn in today is 40. We have a member of Congress today who's 31. The 21st century transition is well underway, and I'm very, very pleased to have the opportunity to participate in that. Now, I'm looking forward, too, to the scramble in the Senate. It'll be a lot of fun to see what's going on there. What really is taking place here, of course, and I wanted to hit a serious note about that, is just as the Central Committee of the Democratic Party, because it was a statewide office, gathered as representatives of the entire party yesterday to make their recommendations, so now the senatorial district on Maui, the precinct officers and district representatives and so on will also meet, and they will recommend 3 names to me to choose the new senator. And if, for example, it's not required, but if someone was recommended and then chosen by me who was already in the legislature, then the representative district would meet as well. So for those who have been a bit skeptical or cynical or dismissive of the idea of participating in politics at the party levels, of actually doing that precinct work, getting in the districts, doing all the work of seeing to that we have truly a representative democracy. Let me tell you, this is democracy in action. This is party politics at its best. I think you saw that yesterday, the way the Central Committee conducted itself. I said to those who asked that I felt the Central Committee would gather with all of their different backgrounds and experiences and the judgments they bring to bear, sometimes with years of party activity, that they would act as a jury. They would act on making a decision on behalf of the people of the state through the Democratic Party process. And I believe the same will take place here with a senatorial seat and perhaps another seat as well. I have every confidence that just as the process worked as it should yesterday, to not only to the benefit of the people of the state, but as representative of what democracy is all about, I suspect and expect that the process will work the same on Maui all the way through until all the seats are filled as they should be. And I look forward to the organizational outcomes that will take place both in the House and in the Senate now, because we are determined to live up to the values and the standards that have been set by and have as an example of what that process is all about in Lieutenant Governor Shan Tsutsui. Now, any questions?
41. Thank you, Governor.
Yeah. Right. That slipped by me. I'm sorry.
Governor, when did you hear of the confirmation? Did Mr. Tsutsui give you confirmation that he would accept the position this morning, yesterday? Is there a need to even try to...
Today. We've had discussions once it became a reality. Obviously, it was impossible to have any conversation like that beforehand. But once it became a reality, then we met right away, and met several times, and several discussions ensued, because it is quite true that from a constitutional point of view, the Senate President succeeds to the lieutenant governorships when there's a vacancy, but obviously he has the right, literal right, to not accept that. So he had to do some real soul searching and some discussion with his family and friends and colleagues with regard to that, and so we needed to respect that. But once he made up his mind, I was quite willing to wait. The Constitution says the rules say promptly, and so I was quite willing to wait for whatever time he deemed sufficient to make his decision. But events, as we all know, sometimes get in the saddle and ride us. And so we were able to come to a conclusion, including, by the way, my suggestion that we open an office on Maui, both for purposes of meeting the criteria that I had established, at least in my own mind, of not being Oahu-centric, and from the practical realities. There's no reason, constitutional or otherwise, to expect neighbor island folks to have to give up their lives on neighbor islands in order to accept a statewide office.
Lieutenant Governor, now that you've taken this position officially, who would you like to see as your replacement as
Any one of these capable individuals, I think, would serve fine.
Also, Lieutenant Governor...
No, there's a serious side to that, no, to the question. Just as I did with, regardless of what anybody wants to surmise or speculate about, we respect this process. I'll get 3 names. Lieutenant Governor Tsutsui obviously can have his views and all the rest of it, but we will rely upon the good judgment of the people of his former senatorial district. They will give us 3 names, and then give me 3 names, and I'll pick somebody from that.
And if the question was regarding the Senate presidency, which I think, like I said, there's many qualified individuals, a lot of them sitting right here. So, that's something for them to determine now.
When and why did you decide that this decision, which you could have turned down, was the right thing?
When and why? The when was just around lunchtime today. And the why was... I
wouldn't let him eat until he gave me a decision.
and I told the governor I didn't eat all day today. I'm still a little nervous, and of course, I had a lot to think about. But what really changed my mind was the conversations that we've had over the last 24 hours. Right after the press conference that the governor had yesterday with now Senator Schatz, I was waiting in his office because I just wanted to, discuss what my potential role would be and what some of the responsibilities were. And, I did come up thinking that I really wasn't going to take it. And I kind of went back and forth, of course, consulting with my family and many of my colleagues. And so it was just around lunchtime today.
Lieutenant Governor, you mentioned your family and the fact that you live on Maui. Were there any other things that you were kind of hesitating about before you accepted it?
Well, I think the role of the lieutenant governor, I've been in the legislature for 10 years, so obviously I'm very familiar with that process. And, coming up to the executive branch is a whole new ballgame for me. And I just look at this as a tremendous opportunity to work with the governor to kind of, there's a long list of things that I said we're going to fix, right, Governor? No, but, we're going to get moving right away. And, I'm hoping that, as the governor said, the focus on the neighbor islands is one of the things that I like to focus on too. And, I'd like to serve kind of as a liaison to all of the neighbor islands, including Kauai and the Big Island. So I look forward to serving the neighbor islands as well.
It seems like this is a historic day for you and also for a lot of people on the neighbor islands. It must mean a lot. What does this mean for you personally as someone from the neighbor islands taking this position?
I don't know. And that's a good question for me personally. But I just look at this as an opportunity. I don't think I would have predicted this. I don't think that it's something that even a few weeks ago I would have thought that someday I might become the lieutenant governor and take on those roles and responsibilities. But having said that, again, the reason I decided to accept the position was that I felt that the governor was very receptive in me being a part of his administration and playing a very meaningful role, and hopefully, with the good relationships that I've built over the last 10 years in the legislature, hopefully those still continue. Although I heard one person say, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out." but anyway,
Smiling.
Right. So anyway, I hope to help the governor in that way.
And also in answer to that, then Lieutenant Governor, now Senator Schatz, and I had a partnership. Now, obviously, everybody knows here in our primary system, the person running for lieutenant governor, the person running for governor in each party runs separately. But once that issue is resolved in the primary, we run as a team. And from the very first moment when Senator Schatz became a lieutenant governor candidate after the primary, we ran as a team. We acted as a team. That's the way I feel about it. I feel very, very strongly about that, not just theoretically or intellectually, but we acted on that. Then Lieutenant Governor Schatz had very specific areas that he was associated with: energy, with federal dollars, with Asia-Pacific relationships, etc., that occupied his time in a very meaningful and focused way in this administration. We were partners. And I can assure you, and I assured Lieutenant Governor Tsutsui, that we're going to be partners. I look at it as a tremendous opportunity for me. We have 18 departments: the University of Hawaii, the Department of Education, boards and commissions, offices associated with the governorship. Believe me, to have a division of labor that is real and active and focused is something that I look upon as just as much as an opportunity as Shan does. And the bottom line for that being is that when we can move forward on our New Day proposals, whether it's in energy, whether it's in food production, whether it's in excellence in education, whether it's in IT upgrades and improvement, in all of these areas, the focus is going to be, what do we do for these young kids? What do we do so that their dependence on us to exercise good judgment on their behalf is justified? That's what this is all about. We're going to be partners. I think he's going to be happy in that role because it is not symbolic. It is not pro forma. It's dynamic and it's every day.
Lieutenant Governor, how does this fit with your political goals and aspirations? Because this obviously sets you up in a prime position to become governor should the governor win another term. This puts you on a new pedestal.
Or I can run against him in 2 years, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, BJ,
Wait a minute. I know. Wait a minute. I knew there was a flaw in this deal.
No, BJ. No. Well, to answer your question, I'm really not focused on that. I mean, and I think you could say, well, a lot of people might say that, but seriously, I just really want to focus on working with the governor right now, trying to address some of the issues that are before us today. And in time, I'll make that decision.
Lieutenant Governor, top issue you want to address?
There are a lot, and again, I'm going to work with the governor. We're going to take a look at his New Day plan and really focus on some of the things that he has set as priorities for this legislative session, and we'll move forward.
Lieutenant Governor, you said your focus is on the neighbor islands. How do you plan on doing that? And did opening an office on Maui, did that play a factor in you making your decision?
Well, one of the things that I had talked to the governor about, obviously, was, as he has said from the very beginning, that the neighbor islands should be part of, definitely all of the decisions that are being made here. And he wanted to get away from the Oahu-centric type of mindset. And, so I'm hoping that, as the lieutenant governor, governor, like he said, he has a lot of departments that he needs to oversee. And if I can serve as a liaison on some of the others, kind of bring government to them, because we always know that it's not always easy for folks from the neighbor islands to access, the elected officials or services here, and so we want to kind of take it to them if there's a way. In terms of the office on Maui specifically, I think that was kind of important, and I think it sends a message, like the governor had said, that that all of the neighbor islands and wherever you live, I think people need to feel connected to government.
Yes.
Ask you, since your decision yesterday to appoint Brian Katz to the senator, have you encountered any criticism from voters? We've heard some are disappointed that William Hanabusa wasn't selected in line with Senator Noy's wishes.
No, I haven't. Those who were for Representative Hanabusa or for others, including those maybe who were not named yesterday, all obviously would have liked the person that they favored to be the outcome in terms of being named. But this is the Democratic Party. Our diversity literally defines us rather than divides us, and everybody is pulling together now. So I've had favorites in my life, friends that didn't succeed, others who perhaps did. So the whole question then becomes, how do we all pull together for the common good? So while there may be disappointments in terms of criticism, I haven't encountered any of that. Personally, anecdotally, I can tell you that the enthusiasm was very, very high for Senator Schatz, the opportunity. I think most people who felt that way were relating, not because they knew him or, some of this is all inside baseball, inside political opinion making and analysis and all the rest of it. But for those who wake up every day, meeting their responsibilities, going to work, feeding their families, taking care of their obligations and so on, they're looking to see whether or not we're acting on their behalf. And I think what they see is the beginnings now of a new generational change, a transition really into the 21st century. In a way that was symbolized by and made real by the election of Senator Inouye and his colleagues in 1954 when Hawaii was still a territory. That represented a transitional change from the world that had existed previously in plantation days and domination by a few corporations and so on. 1954 was a watershed year for Hawaii. And that transition that took place politically then in 1954, I think may in the future, as we look back, be said to have begun for the 21st century, perhaps in 2012, with Senator Inouye's passing. The entire spectrum from the change that took place in 1954 was covered. I mean, that's the remarkable part about Senator Akaka, Senator Inouye, and their colleagues. They literally transformed the foundation for the to the Hawaii and for the Hawaii we have today. And I believe that the transition that is now taking place, as represented by this young man behind me and the one in Washington and the young woman who's just been elected, gives us an opportunity to see a transition in action. And I think you're going to be seeing, interestingly enough, the same thing taking place in the legislature. I think that for those of us who have had the privilege of working with the Democratic Party from its first manifestation in 1959 with statehood until the present time, as I have, that opportunity that I have, I'm respectful of that. And I understand what is required of us at this time. And that's for us to at least as far as this governor is concerned, to aid and abet and to support that this transitional phase as much as it's humanly possible for me to do. It's these kids, these three right here. These three right here, as much as anything else. We can talk all we want. We can have all the analysis and all the rest of it. There's not a person and there's not a legislator here that isn't for these three little ones right here. And to do the very, very best we can to work together and subsume whatever differences we have, whatever criticisms we have of one another, whatever shortcomings any of us might display. And we can start alphabetically on that. I understand that, but we're going to subsume those differences, subsume those challenges or difficulties we might have with each other or about the issues facing us, and act on behalf of these young folks to give to them a Hawaii not just that we can be proud of, but gives them every opportunity to both display and to utilize all their capacities, all their abilities, all the talent, all the intelligence that they possess. Here you go.
We're going to take some pictures.
Yes. Let's get this down, and so you can take. There you go. Let's all move up close.